Hello everybody and welcome back. My name is Winback, and on today's episode of Heroes of the Storm in our A through Z playthrough, we have got Malthael, the Angel of Death, the puppy rider, the guy with the beautiful scarf and candy cane sickles. He's ready to take your life, send you off to the underworld, and then use your soul to harvest the power to kill all of humanity, I guess, because that's a very angelic thing to do, right? This is a YouTube video though, so feel free to like, comment, subscribe your heart out. We've got Artanis, Asmo, Zarya, Malthael, Whitemane versus Cassia, Valeera, Sylvanas, Diva, and Brightwing. Now, Malthael, I'm going to be honest with you, he's labeled as a bruiser. I don't agree with that. I think Malthael is still a melee assassin, and he has the health bar to show for it. Some very strong plays are makeable with this character, but at the same time, I think he's also the type of character that will bait players who are bad at him, like myself, into making really dumb decisions, and that ultimately does not feel good. Looks like Asmo's going down, can't do anything else to stop it, gonna put just whatever damage that we can out and go run off to the top lane. Because that's where we belong. We're an offlaner. Even though we're a melee assassin, we've got so much wave clear, bruiser. We've got so much wave clear that it's really impossible not to have this man just soaking every second of the game. Now, if you're not familiar with Malthael's abilities, we'll do them in reverse order because they all depend, with the exception of your E, on your trait. So Reaper's Mark is going to apply your mark to heroes' non-buildings, basically. Anything that is not a building will get hit by your mark. You can see it on Sylvanas right there. While it is on her, it is going to do % max health damage, and that allows us to use our Q and our W on her. Works the same for minions, mercenaries. It's a very big reason why Malthael is good at taking camps. And on top of the fact that you can do % max health damage with your trait, you're also applying your trait with auto attacks that cleave just standard. You didn't want to soak those experience globes, you just content to sit in the bush, huh? Okay, that's fine. Whatever. Do you? Valeera's here. You have left me. It's okay, don't worry about it. I'm completely capable of handling both of these. Yes, all by myself. 100%. Anyway, so your trait, your mark, is the whole way that you activate your abilities. It is just everything that you need to do for moving around with your W, for healing with your Q, and then pushing your auto attacks, just cleaving everything, shredding some max health damage, just making it super, super potent for you to soak XP. She really doesn't want to fight me. Not that I blame her, but no Sylvanas hanging out in that bush. Oh, there's a Valeera hanging out directly in front of me, though. Sylvanas is on the other side of that wall, too, so I don't know if you really want to do this, buddy. I can heal, you can't. Trading a whole bunch of damage into her, but now I need to run away. There's Artanis to come help me. Ooh! Hero Artanis just running directly through. If I had been paying attention, probably could have gotten that kill. I thought she was just going to keep running and not take the thing back, but she bansheed all the way back through, which is a little bit unthirch. Still got the Brightwing Z too, so maybe that was just doomed from the beginning. Anyway, blinking forward, even though we have a little bit of health, we do have a lot of healing. Even though Sylvanas is definitely going to kill me, maybe Artanis can get something done. He's going to swap her. He's going to swap her. And she is out. I shouldn't have gone back in there. That was definitely my bad. Ooh, and the Valeera silence. Can Artanis live through these like I can? Of course he can. He's Artanis. He's got a big shield. Unless you got some big stuns for this man, I don't think you're going to have any luck of killing him. With killing him. Any luck with killing him. Anyway, so your E ability, the other things that go on in Malthael's kit that we haven't mentioned, Death Shroud is the only other ability in this kit that can be activated without the use of your trait, apart from your ultimate. Death Shroud, though, leaves a giant trail, path, carpet thing, whatever you want to call it. It's just a little mist that slowly travels along a line, and then anything hit by that mist is going to have your trait applied to it, which in and of itself is really fantastic, because that means you can apply your trait to a minion wave or a camp or anything in any direction and give yourself a potential engage or escape. It's a very, very safe way for Malthael to set up some moves, which is good. Your W is called Wraith Strike. That is your main form of mobility, but you can only Wraith Strike to things that have your mark on them. So you want to typically be jumping onto targets where you can reapply your mark, or to targets that you've hit with your Death Shroud so you can make a quick escape. So if there are a bunch of minions off in a safe direction for you to jump to, you can just E over them and then W onto them, or you can just W over to the camp over the wall like so. Enemy team is pretty, absorbed with that bottom camp, so I'm just asking Artanis for a wee bit of help to get this thing out quick so we can have some double campage going on the top side. Looks like Valera wasn't even remotely interested in checking us, so easy steal there. Your Q, your final ability that we can talk about, probably the most... What was that? Probably the most important ability in Malthael's kit is the Soul Siphon. Soul Rip. Soul Siphon's the talent, I think. Soul Rip is going to do some damage in an AoE to anything applied to your trait. So if your trait is going, you hit the Q button, you do damage to it, and you heal for a small amount as well. The healing that you get from heroes is significantly more than the healing that you get from minions, mercenaries, whatevers, but heroes also... Oh my god, they stole our camp after we stole their camp. What is this? But the healing that you get from minions is more instances. So no matter how many things have your trait applied to them, you can always apply it to more. So if there's 100 million people inside your little AoE with your Soul Rip, you're going to heal off all of that stuff, no matter what it is. So sometimes you can just go into huge clumps of things and heal a lot. Sometimes you can't. That's one of those things that will bait a lot of bad Malthael players into thinking that they can live a whole lot. Now we've got Whitemane healing us up with her ultimate, so I'm okay with taking this 2 versus 3. But now I'm almost completely out of mana. Nope, I don't think we're going to get that. My ultimate was completely mitigated by the Brightwing heal, and we do manage to get the Cassia kill. But we traded our Asmodan on the other side of the map. Can we kill Valera? She should be. Yes, she's still revealable. I didn't have the mana to Wraith Strike after her, though. Bummer. Absolute heckin' bummer. So we traded 1 for 1 there. I think Cassia is more important than Asmo, though, because Asmo's really just going to be suiciding into buildings anyway, and probably getting tons of value for every death that he has. So if we're trading 1 for 1, it's going to work. It's going to work out. So anyway, the ultimates for Malthael are both very... What's the word? Oh no. Well, we've been stunned on the other side. Anyway, they're very, very conditional. So your first ultimate is called the Tormented Souls. It's just a big puddle around Malthael of his trait. And then when it's activated, you are going to immediately reset the cooldown of your W, your Wraith Strike. And then upon doing that, once the ability ends, Malthael is going to again reset the cooldown of his Wraith Strike. I was polymorphed. Okay, finally. Sylvanas teleported the wrong direction towards me, so we were able to get the last rights on her. And that's the ultimate that we're taking. It's the better ultimate in 99% of situations, even though you can make a case for Tormented Souls, but it's usually only when you have something like an Anna nano boosting you, or like a really strong Abathur hat, or any number of buffs that will really boost the effectiveness of that ult. On its own, I don't think it's very good at all. Oh, this is going to kill everybody, isn't it? Yikes. The ball lightning kills Asmo, and I escape with relatively little health. I'm just trying to clear from a very far distance. Thank God they ran away as soon as I came into it. Baiting the enemy team with my confidence. Looks like Dragon and Zarya are still pushing on the top side, so I'm just going to continue to push, get soak, do offlaner things with our offlaner. Why is there a Sylvanas here? Excuse me? Do you know where you are? It's 10 p.m. Where are your children? Okay, she's going to leave. She knows that I can kill her with my ultimate if she stays around any longer than she currently did. So that is really good news for us. Lots of push, but a dead Zarya. That's sad. That's a little bit sad. Now the talent build that we have for Malthael is a little bit different than what I'm used to. I've been making some changes to my build with this character because of some recommendations that I've heard from some CCL players, some pro players, some higher level players, and I think ultimately that they're working out. Now what we're doing with this build, we're going to take Death's Reach at 1, Throwing Shade at 4, Massacre at 7, Soul Siphon at 13, 16 will ultimately be, 16's a tough one. 20 is going to be No One Can Stop Death. That's never going to change no matter what your build is. No One Can Stop Death is always the best talent no matter what you're doing. It's a Resurgence of the Storm, and you should always take it. And then we've taken Mortality at 20. The reason, why can't I jump? They're visible to me. They have my trait on them. I don't know why I couldn't jump over the wall. That was annoying. Really annoying. Because I should have been in that fight way sooner, and I'm fairly certain Artanis should have lived.
Prepare yourselves, heroes. The shrines will soon
that was a bug and a half, if I've ever seen it. Not sure why exactly that happened that way, because you saw earlier when we went to that camp that it was completely easy to do that thing. And it says in the tooltip for the trait, this reveals things, right? Yeah, marked enemies are revealed and take damage. Bug! Calling it. Artanis lives there if the game isn't bugged. Chasing after the diva because there's no way that she can get away from us, but we do have very little mana. I don't want to be using my abilities while she's using her defensive matrix on us because we have a very small amount of mana as it is. Can't get her under the building though, only can chase her so far. Whatever, let's go. Get the shrine, get the objective, try to make this shit over quickly. I guess I will go get the dragon since the rest of our team is pushing and Artanis is going to get the bottom one as we speak. But this build specifically, it offers you more opportunities to apply your trait in bigger areas, gives you more opportunities to be mobile. Ultimately, your trait being applied to more than one target is really helpful for helping Malthael circumvent his tiny health bar. So when you use this build, you're effectively telling your team that you're not going in until the fight has at least run about half of its course. Because you want cooldowns to go down. You do not want to initiate with Malthael because hitting Malthael with CC means that he cannot use his Q to heal himself. He can't use his W to get out of danger. He can't do much of anything if there is any shape or form of CC on top of him. So this is really the most important lesson for Malthael. You cannot go in until the CC is done. And that is a lot tougher for some people to comprehend than I think it should be. But anyway, silenced by the Valera, we can get... Oof, we got the stack. Last Rites also is a questing talent. I'm not sure if it's still the only questing ultimate, but... Oh, okay, let's get White Mane and Sylvanas. 2 versus 1, they trade each other out. Unfortunately, we just do not have the damage. Blinking back into that stun there, but still applying all sorts of cleaving auto attacks, jumping in with our Wraith Strike with only 200 health to spare. Mortality just making it happen at the end there for the Diva kill. But anyway, your Death's Reach increasing the Wraith Strike's range by 35% means that you can jump to targets in the backline. That being said, the best way to get the best use out of that increased range is having increased range on your E as well. So Death Shroud's range is also going to be increased by 33%. We're reducing the cooldown and the mana cost too, which is nuts. This used to be a questing talent, and it's so much better this way. And it's also just doing 2% of the maximum health of whatever target that we hit. So you have this huge range W, this huge range E to apply your mark to people so you can get all up in their business. And then you've got Massacre at 7, which is going to let your W apply your trait in an area. So you can jump into clumped targets of enemies, blast them with your mark, and now you have a lot of targets to heal from, a lot of targets to jump to, and a lot of targets to just put lots of percentage health damage on. Mouth VP, MVP, Angel of Death, Candy Cane Man Extraordinaire, really showing off just how good I think this build is. This is the first time that I used this build after about 10 games of this character, and this was really just the best game in that entire span, which is crazy because I was taking Die Alone on some of the other builds, which was my go-to talent at level 4 for a very long time, and now this feels so much better. Soul Siphon is going to give you more healing once you get in there, and then Mortality is kind of your ability to get people into the window to last rites them. So the questing portion of Last Rites is going to just reduce the cooldown every time that you kill a person with it, or if it's on a person when they are killed. So reducing that cooldown makes it much easier to kill more people with it more often. And then Mortality, since it's taking 8% of a hero's maximum health, you're just dropping them into that window, which is going to make them very, very easy to kill. And this is the whole reason that we killed Diva in that one exchange on the bottom side there with the Wraith Strike. It's just... this build basically makes your Wraith Strike your whole ability. I mean, your whole playstyle. So your Q is really strong, but with this build specifically, your W takes over as the predominant ability, and you can just see the effectiveness of it's just crazy. This build is so good. And then at 20, since this is the only talent that you're ever going to take, it lets you play aggro as fuck, my friends. You pick this, and then you can just run face first into the enemy team, do a whole bunch of damage, maybe get a kill with Last Rites. Hopefully you're trading 1-for-1 with No One Can Stop Death, but even if you just fuck up and make a huge mistake and die, you can just hit this button and come back immediately. Your death timer goes up by 25%, but who cares? Just be safe when you don't have this cooldown, and you're going to be fine. I promise you. This character, I think, is still very, very, very strong in the right circumstances, but, like I said, CC abilities are very, very bad for him, and going in at the wrong time in a team fight is also real bad. So, this is a Phase Prism Artanis. Wow. You don't see that every day. Somebody didn't pick their 20 talent. That's a no-no. Excuse me. Next week we'll be back with the new patch with I'm gonna do videos for the reworked heroes on top of the A through Z, so those will be what's the word? Congruent? Parallel? We'll release them at the same time. You know what I mean? So we'll do 5 videos, and then we'll do A through Z videos on top of those. So For 1 week, it'll be about 2 videos a week. Or a day. 2 videos a day for a week. I'm rambling. I'll see you there. Goodbye.